What is going on, guys? It's your boy Big Dylan and welcome back to another Destiny What to Use in Weekly Heroic Strike video. This is February the 21st to the 27th. So for the modifiers this week we have Heroic, Arcburn, Brawler and Ironclad. So the two good ones this week are Brawler and Arcburn. So let's get straight into it. Let's have a look at some of the weapons that I would recommend using this week. For primary, pretty much self-explanatory in this one. Zalo Supercell. Anytime Arcburn is on, I'd always go with a Zalo. This thing absolutely shreds through everything. No matter what enemy you're shooting at, this thing absolutely shreds. Definitely recommend using this. If you don't have the Zalo, again, I always seem to go heavily favour towards scout rifles and some sort of high impact hand cannons. You know, they're going to be getting more damage out per shot, but in general any primary is usable, but I definitely recommend the Zalo over everything. For special weapons, anything with Arcburn, anything with the Arcburn modifier on. So I've got two arc snipers here, I've got a sidearm, you know, you could use fourth horseman, the plan C. There's a bit of a variety there. You know, you could use, just make sure you've got something with Arcburn on so you're getting as much benefit out of it as possible. There's been plenty of times where I've been playing strikes and I see people with solar weapons and void weapons when it's Arcburn. You're just not doing yourself a favour, and you're definitely not doing your teammates a favour, so definitely try and get something with Arcburn on. Same thing goes for heavy weapons. Make sure you're using something with Arcburn on. So you got stuff like the Thunderlord, the Boltcaster Exotic Sword. You've got this. I've got this random Iron Banner machine gun here that I could use. Got an arc rocket launcher with the cluster bombs on. I actually really do like this rocket launcher. Super effective, and it's actually really good to use. Why aren't I using tripod for more ammo? But then again, that's just me. And as far as the Warlocks go, run Stormcaller. It's definitely going to be your best subclass this week. This is what I like to use on my Stormcaller. Arc Web with the Storm Grenades, so it all chains in between enemies. Superconductor for more lightning range. And our Impossible Machines grant us our landfall. I'm also using Transcendence on as well, so if we have a grenade and melee fully charged, we can actually, you know, keep going forever in our super. So we can just kill absolutely everything. As far as stats this week, I'd recommend Maximum Intellect and Discipline. With Brawler being on, I mean, you could spec into a little bit more of a melee build, but I just really wouldn't recommend it on a Warlock. I'd try and make sure you're getting your super as much as possible on a Warlock, and the actual Storm Grenades shred through trash mobs in this game, so that's why I use Intellect and Discipline. But anyway, let's move on to the Hunter. So getting straight into Hunter, guys. Hunter's in a little bit of a sticky situation when it comes to Arcburn in general. Blade Dancer, in my opinion, for PvE right now, it's even worse than it was before the most recent hotfix that released. If you're unaware of the recent hotfix that released, it basically nerfed the Hungering Blade perk on your Blade Dancer. So now, rather than you starting to regen your health and shield, you only get a chunk of health. So I mean, for PvE, Blade Dancer is now even worse than what it was. Another reason, again, why I wish Bungie would sort of separately nerf things for PvE and PvP, because now Blade Dancer is even more irrelevant. You could use Blade if you wanted to just sit at the back and pelt skip grenades, but when it comes to using your super and having to get up close and personal with it, you're probably going to get pretty squished on and probably die pretty quickly. So the next best thing, in my opinion, my choice here would be to run Night Stalker. Night Stalker is a very good PvE subclass. It not only benefits you, but it benefits your teammates as well, giving you all a huge damage boost. You'll be able to melt bosses a lot quicker, be able to create orbs for your teammates, and just be able to give them their supers faster. You know, Night Stalker, I'd definitely recommend using this week for all your hunters out there. I feel like you'll just have a lot more of an easier time using this. You know, make sure you try and use Predator on there as well, and make sure you got Light of the Pack on, and you should be able to get tethers very quickly as long as you're actually killing stuff. But that's pretty much it for the hunters, guys. So last but not least, we have the Titans. For Titans this week, definitely would recommend running your Striker subclass. The only other time I would really run Defender is if you are in a 3-man team and you're playing with a couple of buddies and you're all sat at the back with a bunch of sniper rifles and you're going to be team shooting the boss at the end. Other than that, I wouldn't really recommend Defender, as you're not really being able to get kills as much, and I just don't really like it when I'm playing solo, but anything team play, I'd run Defender. The main one this week is Striker. Now, Striker is by far going to be your best subclass if you are playing solo. Multiple possibilities for you Titans. You could run your lightning grenades on here with aftershocks on there with aftermath, so you're generally just holding down doorways. You can slap your armamentarium on as well, so you got 2 lightning grenades, which will make it even more funny. Just slapping lightning grenades, throwing them at doorways, all that sort of good stuff, and being able to Titan smash and leave the actual damage on the floor. Another build you could actually go for if you wanted was a shoulder charge build. Now, a buddy of this, when I was playing this morning, actually recommended this. If you run shoulder charge, not with the standardides but the Peregrine Greaves, and basically with Brawler being on and Arc Burn, you're going to be dealing a hell of a lot of damage. With the Peregrine Greaves, you deal a shit ton more damage when you jump and shoulder charge in the air. So combine that with Arc Burn and Brawler, I mean, it's going to be pretty goddamn deadly. Now, if you want to make that a little bit more effective, you could actually run flashbang grenades with your shoulder charge build, just so you can blind the enemies before you actually run in and actually shoulder charge them. Bit more useful if you're going up against something like Boomer Knights, just so you can completely immobilize them, or maybe you've got an annoying captain in your way. But that's pretty much going to do it for this week. Hopefully this gives you an idea on what to use. Drop a like on the video if you enjoyed, subscribe to the channel for daily content. Thank you so much for watching, and peace.